Please help me to reach 500 subscribers. Have you ever had one of those nights where everything finally feels like it's fallen into place? The career milestone you worked for is yours, glasses are clinking with champagne, and every important person in your life is gathered around you, smiling with pride. That was me. That was my moment. I felt untouchable. My husband, Leo, stood beside me, his hand resting comfortably at my waist as people congratulated me one after another. I was floating, confident, happy, certain that nothing could ruin this night. But life has a cruel sense of timing. Just when you're standing at your highest point, it knows exactly how to shake the ground beneath you. Everything shifted the second I saw him step inside. Mark, my ex, the man I hadn't laid eyes on in 5 years. The man whose proposal I once declined because deep down, something told me that future wasn't meant to be mine. The sight of him hit me like ice water. My smile locked in place. Leo immediately felt the change in me. His hand tightened slightly, a quiet, wordless question. Mark moved easily through the room, wearing that same self-assured grin I remembered far too well. Before I could react, he was standing right in front of me. "Congratulations, Sarah," he said, his voice unchanged by time. Then he opened his arms. It was harmless on the surface. Just a polite, social hug. But in that brief moment, memories flooded my mind, joy, heartbreak, and the painful final words we'd shared years ago. My body responded before my brain could catch up, and I leaned in for an awkward, fleeting embrace. 3 seconds at most. Yet under the eyes of coworkers, friends, and my husband, it felt endless. When I pulled away, I met Leo's gaze. He wasn't angry. He wasn't jealous. He was simply watching. Calm. Controlled. And somehow, that unnerved me far more than any obvious reaction would have. The celebration carried on, but the energy had shifted. I laughed when expected, though it felt hollow. Mark hovered nearby, attempting small talk, but my focus kept drifting back to Leo. He had stepped away to the bar, standing quietly with a whiskey in hand, speaking low to the bartender. I noticed him slip the man some folded cash, an intentional gesture that made my stomach tighten. Something was coming. I could feel it. About 20 minutes later, just as Mark began reminiscing about college stories I desperately wished would stay buried, the soft piano music filling the restaurant suddenly stopped. Silence spread across the room. Every head turned toward the stage. And then Leo stepped into view. My heart slammed against my chest. I was certain this was about to turn ugly. A confrontation. Public embarrassment. A scene no one would forget. My face burned as I prepared myself for the fallout. But Leo didn't look at Mark. He looked only at me. He took the microphone, his posture steady, his voice even as it carried across the room. "Everyone," he said gently, "may I have your attention for just a moment?" His eyes scanned the crowd before settling back on mine. "We're here tonight to celebrate my remarkable wife, Sarah, her dedication, her talent, and her well-earned promotion. I couldn't be more proud of her." He paused, took a breath, and for a brief moment, his composure softened. Emotion flickered in his eyes. "But tonight," he continued, "seeing someone from her past reminded me of something important. It reminded me how our story began. And it reminded me that love isn't about simply finding the right person. It's about choosing that person every single day." My chest tightened. This wasn't what I expected. Not at all. "And it also reminded me," Leo said quietly, "that I still have a promise to honor." He gave a subtle nod to the pianist, who began playing a melody I recognized instantly. Our song. The one Leo had written years ago when we first fell in love, strummed softly on his guitar on the balcony of my tiny apartment. Only now it was transformed, layered with piano and a gentle cello, fuller and deeper, just like us. Leo never broke eye contact as he sang. His voice wasn't flawless, but it was raw, sincere, and overflowing with emotion. He sang about our early arguments, my nervous laughter, and the certainty he felt the first time our hands touched. Tears spilled freely down my face. The room felt suspended in time, every person utterly captivated. From the corner of my vision I saw Mark. His shoulders had slumped, his confidence drained away. He understood. He wasn't a rival. He was history, proof of a path not taken, standing in contrast to something unshakably real. When the final note faded, applause erupted, but Leo raised his hand, asking for silence. He stepped down from the stage and walked straight toward me. The crowd parted instinctively. Then he stopped in front of me. Taking both my hands, Leo lowered himself onto one knee. Gasps rippled through the room. We were already married. What was happening? "Sarah," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "I married you 3 years ago. But tonight, in front of everyone we love, I want to choose you again. My heart felt like it might burst. I promise, again, to be your safe place, your loudest supporter, and the man who loves you more deeply with every day that passes. So I have to ask. He looked up at me, eyes shining. Will you marry me again? The room was silent. Completely still. I stared at the man before me, my husband, who had taken what could have been an awkward, painful moment and transformed it into the most powerful declaration of love I had ever known. He didn't compete with my past. He confirmed our future. I pulled him up, cradling his face as my tears soaked his cheeks. Yes, I breathed. Yes, Leo. Always. 1,000 times yes. When we kissed, the room exploded with cheers and celebration. The promotion no longer mattered. The ex disappeared into nothing. There was only us. And the unforgettable lesson my husband taught everyone that night, that real strength isn't about reacting to a perceived threat, but about standing firmly in love and choosing what truly matters. And he chose me. Please help me to reach 500 subscribers.